Welcome to the Esento XL network setup tutorial. In this tutorial, we will be installing and setting up the TPC A05 network card as seen on the drawing below. The procedure for installing the TPC A05 network card is as follows. Step 1. Make sure the panel is powered down, mains and batteries. Step 2. Unplug the ribbon cable from the main PCB that goes to the display card. Step 3. Mount the network card in the bottom left-hand corner of the main PCB using the 4 supplied plastic standoffs. Be careful when inserting the standoffs into the main PCB that you don't apply too much pressure or slip with the implement you're using. It's best to use your fingers if possible. Step 4. Reattach the display ribbon into the network card. Step 5. Turn on deal switch number 7 if you're using an Esento XL, or deal switch number 3 if you're working on the Esento Evoke. Step 6. Reapply the mains and batteries to the panel, and after power up, the panel should be clear of any faults. It's best to make sure the panel is clear of any faults before proceeding. If there are problems, they'll need clearing before you proceed. Notes on fault-tolerant and legacy wired networks. The Esento range of panels can support up to 7 slave panels and 8 repeaters on a network. The master panel will always be set as address 0. This is set on the little 4-way bank of switches on the network card itself, 0 being all 4 switches off. Slave panels will be addressed from 1 to 7, and repeaters will be addressed from 1 to 8. It does mean you have the same addresses on the same 2 cores. This is correct. Fault-tolerant connections require 2 2-core 5-rated cables. Fault-tolerant connections are comms A and B pos and neg on the master. Will run to the comms B pos and neg on the next panel stroke repeater. And then onto the next panel, so it's A to B, A to B, A to B, all the way through to your last panel. And on your last panel, the connections will be from the comms A pos and neg all the way back to the comms B pos and neg on the master panel to complete your loop configuration. Legacy mode connections require a single 2-core 5-rated cable straight from one panel to the next panel to the next panel, whether it be a slave or a repeater, and you'll be using the comms A pos and neg terminals throughout. So it'll be comms A on the main panel to comms A on the next panel to comms A on the next panel, all the way through there. It'll just be comms A. The comms B ports will not be used. In legacy mode, the network should have a 120 ohm termination resistor fitted to both panels, the first and last on your network. Generally, short runs of less than 20 meters will not require the termination resistors. The programming procedure to set up your network is as follows. Step 1, turn on your access key on the front of your panel. Step 2 is to turn on the programming switch. It's deal switch number 6 on the Esento XL and deal switch number 2 on the Evoke panel. Step 3 is to enter the code 2123, enter. Step 4, select option 2. This is signified by the fire LED on zone 2. Using button 1 to move and press enter to enter the edit mode. Use button 1 and 3 to set the amount of repeaters fitted. So button 1 will increase the amount of repeaters, or button 3 decreases the amount of repeaters. And this is shown by the zone fault LEDs. So if zone fault 1 is on, it means 1 repeater. Zone fault 1 and 2 will be 2 repeaters. Zone fault 1, 2 and 3 will be 3 repeaters, etc. Once you've selected the amount, press enter to exit that option. Step 5. Select option 6, which is the fire LED on zone 6, using button 1 to move and press enter to edit. Press button 2 to select legacy mode, indicated by a fault light on zone number 1. This is if it's required. The default for the panels is in fault tolerant mode, so you only need to select this option if you're just running a 2-core connection over to your repeaters or slave panel. Again, press enter to exit. Step 6. Move the options LED all the way over to zone 10 using button 1 to move and press enter to edit. Use button 1 to move and button 2 to select the active repeat or active slave panels, I should say. These will be indicated by the zone LEDs. The only difference between this and the repeater options is you can bypass options. You can have you can have slaves 1, 2, 4, and 5, and missing number 3 if you wanted. Generally, you'd be doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as many as you want to. Again, the yellow fault lights indicate the slave panels that are selected. Again, once you've selected these slaves you want to be operational, press Enter to exit. Step 7. Press and hold button 1 for 5 seconds until you hear the small bleep noise. This is to save and exit the programming options. And step 8 is turn off the program deal switch on your panel. A note on repeaters, standard repeaters, using the PSU bypass method. This means that a standard 12-zone repeater can be powered directly by 24 volts from the master panel. You will need an extra 2 cores to do this, so an extra 2-core cable. The internal power supply module must be bypassed, and the 24 volt from the master panel should be fed directly into the repeater's main PCB in the same cables that the PSU was wired into. Note, in this mode, no batteries should be fitted to the repeater. The main panel then should be programmed using the code 4443 enter. And this option allows us to turn off the PSU monitoring in the repeater. So with the fire on zone 1 LED illuminated, press the enter button to go into edit mode. Move the now flashing fire LED over to zone 6 using button 1, and then press button 2. The zone 6 fault LED will illuminate. Then press enter to exit the programming options. And again, press and hold button 1 for 5 seconds to save and exit. When you've finished, turn off the program switch. It's the end of this tutorial.